Okay, hello everyone. Today I'll talk a bit about the simple interest. Okay, so let's move into this part. I guess you're very interested in the simple interest, right? Okay, so first we're just talking about what is simple interest. Okay, so here you can find in this slide we said simple interest is calculated only on the original amount. Okay, so maybe if you are a rich person and you just deposited your money into your account, okay, so you wish you have some interest, and maybe the bank manager will tell you that, oh, maybe here we have a product and it will give you the simple interest, okay. So that means you have a constant value of interest for every year or like every month or some maybe in some countries even every day. Okay, there's some simple interest. Okay. So you can find here, you get the same amount for every year and use for short-term loans or basic savings. Okay. Okay. So I guess it's very easy. Like here, you have $100 in your account, and maybe if your country is very rich, and the bank manager will tell you that if you deposit your money into our account, we'll give you like a 10% simple interest every year. So that means after a year, you will get about maybe $10 in your account, and then you will get 110 for the total amount. And this is for the first year. And the second year, you also get 10, and you have 120 for the total year amount. Okay, that is for simple interest. Okay, so you can find the formula is very easy. Like here, you have the principal, maybe your starting amount times the rate and times the time taken. Okay, and you get to over 100. Okay, that is for the interest. Okay. So here, I guess, here's an example for you. We have the variables here is P equals to 4,000 and R equals to 5, T equals to 3. That means you deposit for $4,000 for 3 years, and each year we have a 5% simple interest. Okay. So here you can set the interest here is 4,000 times 5 times 3 over 100. Okay. And then you can find, oh, maybe here the interest is 60,000 over 100. That is for $6. Okay. So here you can add the basic amount plus the interest here is 4,000 plus 600. And the final answer here is for 4,600. Okay. That is for how to calculate the total amount right here. Okay. And here is a working backwards, like here, maybe there's some other words here attached, I guess. So here's like the rate, time, principal. If you get the formula I equals to PRT over 100, then you can also using the formula to make an exchange. Like here, if you want to calculate the rate and maybe the problem you get, you have for the interest, you have the like, base of value and the time taken, like the deposit money for several years, right? And you can use it like R equals to I, we have time 100, right? And over P and T, right? Okay, that is for the ratio. And for the time, we can set you can use in 100 times I right here and over the P and R. Okay, and if you want to find the principal here, just let in P as one side and all other variables in the other side. That is 100 times I over R and T, right? Okay, so we can just use this to solve different kinds of problems. Okay. So every time, please remember there's some pretty time unit. Okay. So maybe sometimes it will give you like several months or like several days. Okay. So you have to just convert them into the year. Okay. In most of the problems, we have year calculating, like you deposited money in the bank for like 2 years or 3 years. Okay. So here we can say for 6 months, you have to just make a conversion to 0.5 years. Okay. Maybe for 18 months, that is 18 over 12 equals to 1.5 years. And for 40 weeks, we knew that for a year, maybe we have 52 weeks. So here is 40 over 52. That means the years right here. And for days is 0.2 years. Okay. And here's some practice for you. So you can just pause the video and try to do yourself. If you doesn't have some ideas, you can just keep on going and follow with me. Okay. So let's begin to the first problem. Okay. So here is that find the simple interest on $500 at 4% per year for 5 years. Okay. So for this problem, we can just using the formula, right? We can using the base US dollars right here, you get, and then times the rate for 4% per year, right? So for each year, you're gain about 500 times 4%, right? And for 5 years, you can just times 5. That means the total number of amount of the money, right? That is for the first problem. So here you can set that is for $100. Okay. So you gain $100, but if the problem said if you want to get the total amount or the total value for the like the dollars, like the cash, you can say, oh, I should get 100 plus base value. You doubled it in your bank. It's 500 plus 100, right? That is for $600. Okay, that is for the first problem. And for second problem is that calculate the total amount repaid on loan of $2,000 at 10% simple interest for 18 months, right? So we said for simple interest, most of the time we just maybe we calculate just by years. So you have 18 months that you have to using 18 over 12 months that equals to one, I guess here is for 1.5, right? 1.5 years. So 2000 times 1.5 years, and for each year we have 10%. Okay. So like you gain about, here is for 3,000 times 10% is $300, right? So this is the money you gain, but you have to add up with your base money that is for 3,000. So you total amount here is $2,000 plus the money you gain is for 300. That's for interest, right? That's 2,300. Okay. And for the third problem is that, oh, a sum of the 800 earns $120 interest in 3 years, and calculate the rate of simple interest per year. So for the interest here, you can set, oh, maybe here, using the formula, like $800 and times the rate, and then times the year, 3 years equals to $120, right? So now you can just using the formula, ratio equals to 120 over 3 times 800, right? So it's 40. 40 over 800, that is for 1 over 20, that is for 5%, right? So the rate in the bank maybe it's for 5%. Okay. And the last problem is that how long will it take for $1,000 to double in value at 10% simple interest, right? So if you want to double the money, like here you said you have $1,000 that you have to earn about $1,000, right? So here you can say maybe you have to earn $1,000. Maybe you just have base money times the 10% times 8 years, right? So finally you can calculate it. Maybe here is 1,000 over 1,000. You can just divide it and this together, and it's n times 10% equal to 1. So finally n equals to 10. You have to take for 8 years, okay? Sorry, 10 years, okay? That's for total questions right here. I hope you can get the ideas that I have said, and I hope you can just make a review and to truly understand for what is the simple interest, okay? That's all for today's lesson. So see you next day. Bye. Okay.